So a little look at the setup then. I'm going to be on 3 jiggers today, all at different depths. 0.15 hook length with a 16 LWG hook, and I might switch that to a Kaizen if I wish. And I'm on 8 number 8 stots. Just as a bulk shot, the float runs freely, as you will see on my last few videos. So I know there is a lot of big eyed in here, so I'm feeding maggots today instead of pellets. And there is a lot of good skimmers in here and carp, so that I could really catch anything. And look at this, that is an absolute beaut. You really don't mind catching skimmers that are that big. This pond did lose a lot of carp last year, it did get KHV. However, that has allowed these silverfish to, you know, really come along, get a lot of food down them. And the skimmers in here now are really worth catching. Now my mission is try and catch as much eyed as possible, and this is a really good peg for eyed. So I feel like I've drawn absolutely bang on, got a load of maggots with me, and I want to see, you know, what I can do. So because I'm fishing for mainly eyed, I am going to get carp and other fish, but mainly eyed, I have stuck to the 10 to 12 map elastic, the one that I've used in my other videos. And the reason for that is because they do really attack the bait, it's going to come out nice and easy, and it's going to retract nice and easy, and I think it will improve that bolt effect. And, you know, bump off less fish. Eyed, skimmers, have really soft mouths, so I don't want to lose them, especially when they're as big as this. Look at that. Definitely worth fishing for. So you've got to have the right elastic on. Now with regards to the maggots, I went for a red and white equal mix. I seen an angler on here a year ago, he absolutely emptied it on red and white maggots, and normally I've been told bronze maggots or white maggots are what you want for eyed or silverfish in general, and that completely blew my mind that I saw this guy do over 200 pounds of eyed on red and white. So since then I've kind of got that out of my head and just don't worry about it. It doesn't really matter what colour they are. I think we're overthinking it, I really do. Just get them whacked on and the fish are going to target them.
Come on.
And as you can see, so far I'm getting a nice load of eyed, and this is definitely going to be a carp, I would think.
Thank you.
So I ducked him just above the eyebrow. If they had eyebrows, that's exactly where it would be. So he must have just been having a look at it. Ideally you want to get the fish in the mouth, but obviously because you're fishing through the water and with a jigger you're pulling up and down, you are going to foul up fish. That is perfectly normal. Obviously if you foul looking a lot, they're obviously a lot shallower than the area that you're targeting, so come shallower. Now I have got 3 rigs on. I've got some that are much more shallower than others. I mean, look at this one, this is a very shallow rig really. It's only a couple of feet if that. And that's where I did find that I was getting those eyed. So as soon as those maggots are hitting the water, they're obviously smashing them. When I went on the deeper ones, I was starting to get carp. Which, if you're not getting, you know, as many eyed as you would need, I knew I had a plan B, get onto them carp. Now to my surprise, Andy Fable is across from me to the right-ish, and he is jigging. I saw him do it in the last video and he's at it again. I'm going to give it him, he's going jigger for jigger. got nicked to the bottom left on peg 14, which is probably the best peg in the Northern Hemisphere when it's the M peg. So truthfully, I've already said to myself, there is no way I'm competing with that peg. But I want to do a great weight. Not only for me, but for the video, and also to see what this method can do here. Now, Sandmartin is very fussy at times. There is a lot of different fish in it. And one method doesn't usually always do the trick on here. You've got to be prepared to pull out some other methods. So I've got my Wagler rod out, I've got a slapping rig as well, and I've got margin. I know, unlike the other ponds, just jigging is probably not going to be enough. So you've just seen me feeding there. In the opportunities that I got when I got a carp, I would feed, because it's going to take a little bit longer than if you've got an hide or a skimmer on. But you don't want your fish to start spreading out, moving away. So always get that catty ready and keep feeding now and then while you're playing fish, just to make sure as soon as you go back in, you're straight back onto another fish.
That's a nice carp now, actually. Just chew your beans, lad.
So that was a really good sized carp. Now when I first started fishing on here about 3 years ago, the average fish was probably about £2. Now they're definitely much bigger. I mean, I'm seeing in the margins in the last few matches I've had on here, I've been getting them up to double figure. So you really have whacked on some size. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a thumbs up. It really does make a big difference to my videos. And also, if you've not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button too. It's completely free and I don't want you to miss any of my future videos. Thank you. So on the hook, I have had a mixture of red and white maggots, no particular order, but I normally have 3, so it could be 2 red and whites or 2 whites and a red. I'm really not that fussed, it's whatever I pick up first, but I definitely want both colours on the hook. Now the reason for that is, I think if I have like 1 or 2 maggots, I'm likely to attract much smaller hide or roach, rudd, and I really don't want that. Especially in maggots, you'll know full well, maggots, you will catch any kind of fish on it, but if I have a bigger bait, I'm more likely going to catch a bigger fish. So that's what I've gone for, 3 maggots. If I were getting smaller fish, even on the 3 maggots, I would have put 4 or even 5 maggots on if needed, so don't be afraid to do that. So I've got these absolutely cooking on gas at this moment in time. I am getting more visits from the carp, and as the match went on, I did start to see a lot more carp coming up really to the surface, stealing the maggots as soon as they hit the water. That's when I started to slap or went much shallower. The only problem is they were very spooked by the pole, so I did have to get creative, and when we get to that point I will explain that. But so far everything is going right.
That is a right unit. That's a good fish. That's what we want, kid. Yeah, definitely what we want.
It's amazing that I've hooked that fish under the mouth. What a huge mouth that fish had. How the hell did it not swallow those maggots? But that's what kind of fish are cruising about. So again, big fish, definitely worth catching. You don't want to miss out on them. And it did make me think about possibly changing to pellet. Now I know this idea, you can see all these swirls at the top of the water, look. This and carp really competing now. And I thought, well, if there is a lot more carp here, I might as well just switch to pellet. But, you know, these eyed are really worth catching. Look at the size of them. And you can get them out so much easier. They're nearly £2 a chuck. So, I've stuck with it. I mean, I love catching carp. You know I love catching carp. But I've stuck with it. I've stuck to my guns. I've got a great eyed peg. I thought, no, just stick with the maggots. You're still getting carp on it anyway. But I can't help but think if I'd put pellet on, I might have caught better. So on that one, you saw me slap the jigger 3 times, slowly drop it, and he's absolutely hammered it. I'd really do strike a bait, so it's such an easy method to catch him on. So what you've seen there is an angler with zero panic. So I've had to go full 13 metres because this carp's absolutely tonking, and all I've done is reach for my catapult and fed that area again. The elastic will do the job. If it gets off, it gets off. If it breaks you, it breaks you. But you cannot neglect the area that you're feeding in. It's really important to keep feeding that as much as you can.
Cheers, Tommy. What for turning up?
So you could see there, I'd hooked that carp in the wing, so another foul-hooked fish, and that's why it's gone absolutely crazy and round the lake, but I got it out. So it's definitely starting to look like the carp have moved in. And with each one I get, I'm resisting this urge to put pellets on and feed pellets, because I know how much they love pellets. However, I'm still in hope that there's some more eyed that aren't getting bullied out that can get out before I need to start changing my method. And that's the first fish in the second net. So I've got £40 in that first net. I always click them to 40. And now we're on to the second one. So far I'm really happy with that. If I can do a £20 an hour average, I know I'm going to be there or thereabouts. Anything above that is absolute bonus. If you can hit a £40 an hour average, you're probably going to win March. But £20 is going to get you a section or in top 3, I would think. So I'm just keeping at this. I've got no need to change it. Just keep doing what I'm doing.
That beautiful skin bob.
That skin bob looks absolutely brand new. What a beautiful skimmer. More than happy to catch them. However, I got 3 or 4 of them on the trot, and I thought, no, you know what, either the hide have backed off or the carp have backed, something's happening. So I've changed my method. I've gone into the slapping rig, so my pole is a bit further away from the bait. Now what I mean by that is, with the slapping rig, that bait is going to fall slowly. So it's still going to fall slowly through the first feet of water where I'm catching most of these fish. But with my pole being away from it, it's not going to spook them. It's going to encourage them to come back and have a feed. And this is the first fish on it. So for those that are looking at this rig and thinking, first feet, what's he going on about? This rig's about 4 foot deep. Yes, it is that deep, but it doesn't really get that deep. They take it on the drop. So even though I've got a 4 foot rig, they're not taking that at 4 feet. It's nowhere near the bottom when they're snatching that bait. So I've adjusted the depth now. I probably am just a foot deep, and that has left me a much longer lash. So I've obviously realised that even though I caught on that last rig, the pole might be still too close to the float. So I'm still using the same rig, I've just adjusted the depth. Now the beauty of that is I've probably got 3 feet of line that is away from my pole. So I'm away from the fish by 3 feet. Obviously I'm catapulting the maggots over that bait, but because that pole's nowhere near them, they're happy to go under and attack that bait. And that's going to get me some more bites. See, with the jigger, it's all direct, so the pole is always over it. And I just suspected that they got used to it, didn't like it, and backed off a little bit. And I want to get these fish back because there's a lot of fish up in the water stealing my bait, and I need to get them in the net. So what a take. You saw the big ripple before I struck, and that's where it's absolutely snatched them maggots. Slapping is an amazing form of shallow fishing. You'll see it in loads of my videos. People used to call me Slappy Slappy, now they call me Jigger Jigger. You can't win. I've got so many names. But the point is that there is lots of methods to shallow fishing. And in the summer, you really should be shallow fishing. The fish want to be in that warm water. And nothing is warmer than the very top feet of that water. That's where the sun hits it first. So you need to get that mindset. So I'd realised that the fish were just really not taking it as I needed them to do it, but I knew they were there. So I thought, right, Wagler, shallow, ping over it, let's see what we can get. Just extend this a little bit longer before I go down the margin, because there's still loads up in that water. They're just smartening up a little bit. The fish in Sandmartin do notoriously put up an unbelievable fight, so this is to be expected, and that is an absolute banger. So what I was doing is, I was throwing the Wagler out, feeding over it, and just waiting until I saw the line across the water tightening up. Weren't even bothered about the float going under, just as soon as I saw that line, I knew it was fish on. So I've barely waited 8 seconds for that bite. The Wagler on its day can be insane. Andy Favel is an unbelievable Wagler angler. Sometimes get the pleasure of watching him smash me up on it, and you do learn a few things, so thank you, Andy. And he was actually shocked to see me on a Wagler. He said that after the match. He said, I couldn't believe it when I saw you on a Wagler. I know people don't believe me when I say this, but I do know other methods as well. But I want to win the match. It's got to be the most effective method at that time. And this is extending my shallow fishing. They won't come to the pole anymore, but they were there. So you've got to get Wagler out. And this is why, if you don't use it, you've got to start learning how to use it. Because it gets you some extra fish. Only just managed to catapult the maggots out. That is how quick that bite went. So yeah, it definitely feels like the right method right now. Hello? No, mate. Yeah, dah baru hurry up. Alright, muka sedih. That was Nikolai. He's absolutely smashing it. Asking if I had any corn. I said no, I don't. But he said he better ring Bill and see if Bill's got any, but Bill didn't have any. I'm sorry to hear that, Nikolai. Wee, 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 wee. It's like music to my ears hearing that clutch fly out like that. Now, to be honest with you, I mean, when you're taking this that well, you really barely need to strike. You're more just holding onto your rod so it don't get pulled in. They really do go for it, and that is because I've got them competing so much. The more you feed, the more they're against each other to get to that feed, and they will just absolutely hammer it. If you don't feed enough, you're not going to get them in that frenzy, and it's going to be much more difficult to build a weight. When they are just taking it like this, you can whack up a weight so quickly. And I'll get a lot of anglers that will message me saying shallow fishing is not working, and I'm constantly saying keep feeding. That is the reason. You've got to get them in this frenzy state, and shallow fishing becomes a lot easier when you do.
That's what sort of fish are good to be. Come on, baby.
So that is another really good fish, and you will have noticed that these fish I've been getting, especially the last few, have been much bigger than the majority of the ones I were getting on the pole. Those big dogs have just been hanging back a little bit, stealing those easy maggots, and now I'm throwing into them, I'm getting some of those bigger fish.
Have a look it.
Even managed to get a bonus side get in. That were a real good size one as well. You can see them there. You can see the surface ripples there. There's loads of carp now up in the water. Look at that. Instantly.
I hooked you earlier, didn't I? You're the one that brought me. Mama. No.
So I just pulled out somebody else's hook. At first I thought it was mine because I did get broke on the Wagler, but it weren't. It had a band on it, and I haven't used any bands because I've been using up maggots. Anyway, straight down the edge, I fed a big cup of micros before I've gone down, and I'm fishing as tight as I can to that front leg. My theory is it makes it more difficult for them to get behind it and foul up. I want to get them in the mouth. I need to get them out. So I just put a load of maggots on the hook, like 8 to 10 maggots, no messing about. There's a 20 elastic, really direct to the deck. I've got a bulk shot, 4 number 8s. It's only shallow, like 2.5, 3 feet. And I just want to get in as quick as I can, keep that bait as still as I can. And I've quickly shown you here how many maggots I'm putting on. I've sped it up, as you can see. And it's the only time I'm going to show you. So this is what I had on the hook. So number 12 hook, no messing about, NWG, really strong hook, they're not going to straighten it, I've got nothing to worry about, and I'm on a 0.20 bottom, so about 8 to 9 pound, no mercy. So after each fish I put in a cup of micros. Now this is the only time I'm going to show you this too. So catch the fish, fill the cup as close as I can to the leg. I want to encourage them to go up to that leg and swim round it, see my bait, fish on. So I'm pretty much kissing that leg straight in with the bait. Fish on. Simply lovely. So as you would expect, the carp are definitely a lot bigger down the margin. Really happy to see that because I'm getting absolutely annihilated by Nick. But I reckon I'm just in front of Andy at this point. And I need these fish because Andy's down the margin, I'm down the margin. Most people are down the margin at this point. And it's just who can get them out the quickest, really. That was another absolute bruiser. So again, big cup, straight back in, fish on, repeat. Simple as that. If you didn't feed, you didn't get a bite. I think what they do is they must back off, maybe go under that platform, back off, wait for it to go in, and then ambush it. And that were fine. I've got plenty of bait in there. I just put a couple of bags of micros in, over soaked them. There is loads of pellets in there now. I can do this for a good couple of hours with no issue. So I'm just lifting that float up. It's just drifted a little bit where the fish are wafting about. I've just lifted it up back in line with that pole again. It's moved again and I've drifted it. I pull it up and back in again. So that's really important. I really do not want to foul up these fish. And wham. If you get the carp in the mouth, you're going to get them out. If you're foul looking them, you're going to lose so many. If you hook 10 fish and lose half of them, you've just wasted a load of time. And you're not going to catch anybody up. So I find now if I can fish tight up to a feature, and look at these margins, there's too many reeds, you can't get tight up. So these fish can get behind your float and just knock it. You see the float go under, you just foul hook them, you just lose them. So try and find something that you can get really tight up to that they can't get behind. And you can feed it as much as you like. Attract these big fish in and get them in the mouth. Look, every one of these has been in the mouth.
Did you lose a guru float? It's the second fish I've caught today. We're rigging it. Poor bugger. He had some faith in it, didn't they?
So that's another rig to the good. So again, feed it straight back in, as tight as I can to the pole. You can see the ripples there just under the platform. There's so many fish there now feeding. Exciting times. Again, you saw another ripple. Just missed a bite there, or a liner. Just lift that float up right next to the post again. There's no rush, just get it right, and wham! That weren't even down for 1 second. As soon as I lifted it, dropped it, they have nailed it. And that is another fish in the mouth. If that is not proving the point I'm trying to make, I don't know what will. So that is another really good sized fish out in pretty much no time at all. And I would recommend that you do use a big elastic on here, because these fish pull so hard, especially in the edges. And if you try and go light on there, good luck. They are going to smash you into every reed, every platform they can get you round. There is a reason I'm using 20 elastic on here. And just like a typical ginger, just putting up a super hard fight.
Beautiful.
What a
fish.
beautiful looking fish that is.
Look, that's stunning.
Absolutely stunning. So I'm going to show you the full clip here. So that's the maggots going on. You're going to watch me put it in, and you're going to see how quickly I get this bite. And just like out there when you get fishing a frenzy, equally you whack a load of bait in a margin and you will also get them in a frenzy. So let's see, I'm just dropping that in now. I've just dropped it. Oh no, I've lifted it up, dropped it again. And there we are. How quick was that? You saw the whole thing. I didn't edit that out at all. That fast. Could just see the undercurrent just to the left there. Don't know if you spotted it. And then there's always one in there. This is the downside to fishing near legs. However, it's 20 elastic. This thing pulls back. So if you ever get in this situation, just pull your pole as far back as you can and just let the elastic do the work. So I'm just holding it high. It'll come back. I'm just pulling left, encouraging it back through that gap it's just swam through. Like I said, this is strong elastic. Just have faith. It's not happy with me, as you would expect, but I'm not giving up. As long as it don't wrap round that pole and go back on itself, it's not going to break you. Just keep guiding it through. Give it some. Come on.
Got you.
And there we are. I don't mess about with him. You will get that. That is part of this. But because I've got this fish in the mouth, that's why I was able to control it and pull it back through. If I'd have got that in tail, that would have been an absolute nightmare. And we're now in the 4th net, so I've been really happy with the match. You've seen lots of different methods play out and how well each line can be for you. And the margins here are brilliant. This is probably the best pond on all of them at Lodge Farm for the margins because you can get into them. A lot of the others are overgrown, unfortunately. Billy does know about it. We do keep telling him off, but I think he's kind of giving in now and maybe doing a bit of work. But because you can get into the margins well here, you can have a brilliant day. And that is the first one I've had that's been foul hooked. And I probably had 7, 8 margin fish before we got to this one. So those odds are hugely in my favour. You ever think about the last time you had those kind of odds? It's very rare you get a day like that. And that's because I'm fishing next to that leg. And that is an absolute belter. What a fish to finish on. I've really enjoyed this match. But now we need to see how we got on.
Oh, Paul,
if he didn't, he should be retiring.
Fetch Mick, he'll show you.
Skimmers have been playing today and all.
Skims?
Yeah, I've had a few about £2 plus.
Oh, you haven't switched weigher on Ian. It says 48.
What last thing I said to you?
What's going on here?
Scales on.
I thought this were a professional place, me.
It's reading frigging 0.
That's no good for me.
13.11, but that's not it. You've got to take the weight of the net off.
Just
Take
about-
£4 off.
You just can't get stuck, can you?
Just weigh it properly. Just weigh it properly. I know they weigh more than £4. I've got one.
Well, it's in shed, just in case. Richard's bringing me, dropping one off.
You know what? I bought one and I knew I shouldn't because it's Preston, and anything Preston don't last 2 minutes. I should have known better. Yeah.
Especially in catapult.
Anything Preston.
Catapult.
Yeah.
Snap it all the time.
Yeah.
I cut end up and it looks alright.
Yeah.
£40, 13.
Always complimentary, aren't you, Bill? I've probably not fishing yet. I haven't fished Sunday for the last couple now. No, there's nowhere decent on a Sunday. That's it. No, I have Sundays off to go fishing, but I haven't been fishing.
Nothing during the club.
Oh, near.
I said it's over.
£50
Nowhere near over. Was already.
I feel I'm bad. I'm going to go between.
101.9.
No, I'm not.
Don't let him rip your next day.
No.
I wouldn't.
No, I won't either. I'll tell your missus.
Mrs. likes me and she's never even seen me. I like the sound of it, to be quite honest.
She says if you can keep your lot under control, you must be brilliant.
Which one keeps hook under?
33, 4.
Bill can keep us under
53,
control.
4.
33.
2 legs.
I was trying to be intelligent, talking about
To the flat.
Could be both. There's going tree sparrow. I wasn't sure what it was. 32, 4.
Out for our day.
It's not true. It's not true, is it?
Got another 32 here.
Yeah.
I think it's a line one more. £30 dead.
Well done, Dave. Yeah,
I've got it.
I'm sorry, mate. Why do we camera?
When those eyes are young,
Yeah,
we used to put them in net
yeah.
and then put keep net on top till they settle down.
Really?
Yeah. $44.2.
So he went that
They're out on rod a lot of the time.
Skimmers are getting way bigger in here now. We're right good in winter, them.
Because chuffing carp are all dead.
Oh.
44.8. You can get them all in bucket this time.
Try hard. I got a right nice gold one in there, look. Proper nice coy one.
so let's take something around.
Yeah, I'll be a sec, mate.
37.4.
Well, that's a short one, isn't it? And there we have it. Whew.
$31.10.
$157.8.
I can't win with that, can I?
I think we're going to have a rule.
Oh no. Oh no. Starting today.
40.
It'd still do me an over £3 if it did.
£50 one.
Well done, Nikolai.
Oh, he's breathing alright now, he might be alright.
Well done, Nikolai.
You missed the children tonight. Will you buy us lunch?
Oh well.
I might have a lunch at Pilgrims and all.
You tell me you're winning.
Andy Pavel's got more than me. Huh?
You haven't got more than me.
£49.5.
If he has got more than me, sneaked him in. Well, he's alright there. He's got £45.
How many fish are in there? You know.
No idea.
Not that many.
Net violation!
Put it in her.
First violation of the day.
Are you wanting a picture with that net by any chance? I'm telling you, you better hurry up.
Violation one, no he's not.
Oh, it last one.
Yeah.
What's average for a skilled man? 220. Who's on that?
220 a day?
He's on £300.
Joking.
£300 and his 16-year-old
That's a
gopher is on the 150 error.
Let's have a picture now.
You got another one?
Oh, that's it.
No.
Oh. Yeah, but he's providing machinery, isn't he? Oh, it's a small one, mate.
Yeah, it's warm. I'm gonna feel it tomorrow. I better get a cold shower when I get in. I know. I didn't put any cream on because obviously when we were fishing earlier. Oh wow. Yesterday it was raining, weren't it?
37.15.
How he treats his staff. Fishing it.
Stop crying like a
Have I got one? No.
Oh, I've got sunburn on my knee.
windscreen wipers on.
42 dead.
No, it's not bad. Better than I thought. 79.15.
Come on, you can manage that.
Why didn't he get back?
They were just skimmers and carp.
One left.
Come on, concentrate.
Pay attention. You know, I didn't know there were any fish that small in this pond.
Tell you what, I've had 2 or 3 big skimmers today.
Yeah, I have.
6.13.
Bet I'd want about £3. It were 8 fish.
Did you?
Yeah, for 8 fish. Up in water on jigger.
Pond will be full.
Oh,
I have 21 on mine. How many you got in yours?
I've no idea.
Might be opposite Sunday.
I ain't put your name down yet.
Could be opposite Sunday, Nick.
if I have kids, so bad.
Yeah.
Bring them with you, I'll look after them.
Better get to the other end of that field in 10 seconds if you don't.
Still sending it to work.
Well done, Tommy. You had a right there.
Yeah.
He's emptied it, T-Dog.
Really? Can't do it. Really? You winning it, Nick?
209.
44.11.
Oh, well done, T-Dog. Tommy were nicely started hanging around with Craig. That's another big net, that.
That's not enough.
That's another big net. Well done, T-Dog.
Nice, £50 there.
49.5.
I went that far, I reckon I only.
Have we got two, Tommy?
You said last net were a big net.
Yeah, go. I think, Tom. Horrible, Tommy.
14.4.
Well done, T-Dog.
You do know. You said you had only had it next
108.4.
But there were loads up in water, absolutely loads, and like a jacuzzi.
I've not had one up there. I fished maggot all day, Paul. Not
I
had one.
think I've had about 15, I would say. Aye. But not, considering I've fished for them all day, not a lot.
26.6.
I wish I'd just fished pellet today and gone for carp because there were loads in my peg, but that's usually a right good. Cut last time and again it was the same thing, with too scared at pull so they won't come near it, so that's why I thought, right, I'll get Wagler then. But there were loads here, there were absolutely loads, I just couldn't get them.
$35.2. Well done, Graham.
It's a big one. 50-pounder.
$46.15.
It's going to be tough.
3 figures.
What did you have?
187.
You should put a Thursday one on it. Surprised there's not more on this today. Weather nice, great pond.
Raining, wasn't it?
Well, Bunter's here and he's terrified at rain.
43.9. $44.4 again.
What a net.
I wish I'd not bothered
What a
with maggots, honestly. I wish I'd just fished pellet. Few skim bobs in there, isn't there?
See the proper skimmers now.
Few skim bobs. Simply lovely.
Did you get out
59 fish.
You're on 20.
42 pounder.
No, you couldn't get down left hand edge.
46.2.
There must have been 60 there.
Nearly all. I had a few shallow and I didn't shallow. So I thought I might as well.
133.15.
Hold on, Andy.
Well done, mate.
Skimmers on top pond last week, that deep, all day.
Last time I was up here, I
What was it in?
all I had.
133.15.
We wound it into salted, and then I'd let it go down to mine. It's floated over there.
I was catching fish on it and then
Oh, yeah.
it started moving off.
44.
You just sort me hiding somewhere in there.
We'll jump out in a minute.
ID book.
44. 40.
Go on.
3. 10.
There, dear.
We're actually 44 because you said 43.10 to me.
So good luck.
87.10.
Well done, mate. Get it.
And there we have it. Massive well done to Nikolai. Yes, he drew the absolute flyer, but they don't jump in your net. He's had an amazing weight of £209. I've managed to get second in my section with 157. And Andy Fable, he weren't far off with £133.15. And well done to Buntu, also got his section with 95.5. So overall, it's fished really well. As always, a big thank you to my international fans, and the Netherlands have done what they do best and come back from the darkness and into the light. Well done. And the ladies, 5.9%, I'm really happy with that figure because my last video did great views. Thank you so much. If you would like to use any of the floats you see in any of my videos, go onto Facebook, like this page, I'll approve it. We post daily, normally £1.35 per float. Go and grab yourself a bargain. And that is it for another video. I hope you've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed fishing it, making it, the whole shebang. Obviously I'm going to have many more hopefully before the year is done. So please subscribe if you haven't already. And obviously stay tuned. But until then, tight lines and sithy.
Up!
the T-Nucks.